Hello and welcome back to the Google APIs for Rust and YouTube Uploader development stream. It's Byron speaking, and we are still right in the middle of the dynamic required request value, which is just attempting to make this static structure dynamic to reflect the actual structure that we want, along with some with a complete set of arguments that you should use to actually set these values. All this is based on this 2CLI schema that builds a nested data structure that kind of resolves the types to something that is easier to handle and to parse, which just makes the stuff that is kind of implicit in the structure, makes it explicit. And before the break, we were dealing with variants. So we have an object type that is also basically an enumeration. I think what I want to do is basically just go recursive on it, because then usually this will be an included type. I've never seen something else, which can be handled just naturally. I think that's what we want. So it's in the map thing, so let's be sure variant is there. And variant map, right? And the map I'm quite careful here, because I assume the map is always contained in the variant thing, but who knows, and this thing should just handle what we can handle anyway. So that's why I do it that way. So in variant, so if that is all the case, we shall dig in and say for enum in enum property in p variant map. So wait, that's actually not true. No, we just wanna provide it as is. Possibly, yeah, sure. You want to provide a schema now. I think I either built my own subschema here, because we have this one property name that has a subschema now. And the subschema doesn't really exist, actually. Not yet, at least. And I wonder how that would look like. That's a very simple, a very nice example, because it's simple. So we have what do we have here? We have map item, and that's an enumeration itself. Oh, actually, it's an enumeration itself. That's cool. So that's our fields here. Okay, sorry, I would have gotten that all wrong. So cool, nothing special. So fd dot enum property, what's the field name? Oh yeah, that's type value. Type value is the name here. Type, which is weird, isn't it? Isn't this a terrible misnomer? Type value. Type value is the field name, and the actual item is the nested type that we generate here. So it's 2CLI schema, and then we have C, and C schema is usual nested type of the schema that we currently have, plus the name, the en, the enum name. I just take this here because I need it twice. En. So that's the type name then. No, wait, is this correct? I think this is not correct, because it's tref. It's always tref here. And I think I just want to refer to this myself. So yeah, I just assume it's there. So yeah, that's not a nested type here. Instead, we have the enum property util tref, which is something we should know. And then I can just do this because we use it only once. Like that. Okay, so that should resolve our variance properly, even though I'm not sure if this is correct if we are nested. Because we are on a property level here. Sorry. So no, that's not correct. That's definitely not correct. So we can have a variant or we can have properties. And that's the point. So let's do this. Oops, not here, but here. So if properties is not there, we try to get schema, get variant, and if that is not there, we get a dict, and then on that we get the map, because that will deal with the top level case, because we can just use this as we can't use this as properties. Shit, because it's a dict of stuff. No. Okay, let's go back here. So properties is that. And if it's not there, we try if it's an enumeration. If not properties and variant in schema, shame on me for misspelling this, variant in schema, and then it's variant map, and it's the same thing as I wrote here, and map in schema variant. If this is in schema variant, properties, there is nothing, and we have variant there and map is in there, then we shall say that the properties is just my schema variant map for once, and we have to process it. So now we have a list actually. No, that's wrong. That's still wrong. So for E in the map, we get a dict of stuff, and then basically properties E type value is E. So that at least has a tref which we can use, and the type, let's see what we do. We start with tref and then we try to use the type. So we assume that tref is in there, which I shall also assert here, and then we will be fine with the other part. And handle enumerations. Good. Assert util tref in E. And that should always be the case. Let's see if that is. So now we will handle the top level correctly. And let's see if if this happens somewhere outside of the top level, like as a contained like in place enumeration. Does this exist? Doesn't look like it. Let's look for all occurrences of. I should have some arg. Okay, grab -r. I've been searching my the code base, and I thought I had some line here that helps me to find this stuff. I thought I might have used grab. JSON. Where did I search this? Ah, here. So arg, and there I searched for resumable. Now I search for variant. Word count sort. No, the sorting is not so interesting to me. So for instance, maps engine is 1 genomics. Let's try genomics JSON. Beta 2 Variant, okay, not that. Annotation. Cool, so here is a contained variant. No, wait, that's not the same thing. That's a field name that is called variant. Good, so that's not it. Then we have games 1. Games v1 JSON, that's already the one. Variant, same. That's fields. Okay, so we do not support embedded enumerations. And I think that is the same here with the way I handle the schemas. They're just not supposed to be embedded right now. Good. So basically this can go away. Cool. And everything that we don't know, we just skip. And this will work because tref is in there, and the first thing we check for is tref. So we should never have an enumeration variant that we try to use a type from, because there is no type here in the enumeration dictionary. Yeah. Cool, that will be our empty dict that we've just generated, so we can change it at will without causing any trouble down the road. Yeah, so I think this could be something useful. Let's print it. Let's try to run it. I mean, maybe it doesn't crash. That would be a good thing. Make. So set expected at most 1 argument got 10. Ha. Of course. Sorry. It's provided with a tuple of that stuff. Too many values to unpack because we want to do something else there. 90. Schema get. What am I doing here? Just want to have a dict. No, wait, actually I want to have properties. Jesus. Items. Kind of only, I've implemented this and then forgot about actually using it. Fine. So now this should get further. Dict object is not callable. All right, so we have to get the items here. That's fine. That's fine. And do we access items somewhere else? Yes, here we do. Get items elsewhere? No. No, so that should be fine. Dict object is uncallable. What? Yeah. How do I traverse this then? Either items. Oh yeah. So wait, yeah, sure, here we want to have the items member and not anything that is related to a dict object. So that's correct here. That's correct here. Cool. So that seems to have worked. At least we have a lot of information here. After all, we are kind of resolving or flattening the hierarchy a bit, or making it easier to use for us. See, interestingly, I don't even use an enumeration. Let's turn that off as well. I don't even use an enumeration field member here. Why? Because it doesn't matter. That's why. So all this stuff, so that this here doesn't matter at all. Let's kick it. Field type. Doesn't matter. Nope. Okay, so that's better. Still the same? All right. Now, oh yeah, I think I want to keep this code. Because I'm thinking the structure, I want to build it as a string. And CLI schema to, and I just want to do it myself here without doing it in macro directly. I think that will be easier to do, less cluttered. So CLI schema. So now we have to differentiate between the CLI schema that has the amended information, the fields data, and the one that has not. CLI schema to YAML, and that's the thing we write here, and that's really the most important part. And I will just substitute this. So I will just call it schema then. Convert the given CLI schema from to CLI schema. Result as a result from this to a YAML-like string. That is really just for show. It's suitable for documentation only, obviously. Cool. So, and this will be called recursively, and I have to do a prefix here, which shall start off as an empty string, because that will contain the leading tabs that we want. And then it's really just, you know, writing the ID, writing all the fields, going recursive, and stuff. So what's the tab size? Spaces per tab 4. I think that's something I want to use as well. So O is an empty string that we return eventually. And then, oh, actually O isn't an empty, wait. Yeah, O starts like this, but we also always have to put the prefix. So the prefix and then the ID. Prefix, schema ID, that's the struct name. Oh yeah, and I don't know if I have to convert this or not. Do I convert it? Transform it somehow? Let's check it. So the struct here, pub struct unique type name. Just a unique type name thingy that goes on there. Unique type name. Oh yeah. Okay, let's do that. If that's all I need, then this will be all I use. La la la. Oops. Don't need that anymore, I guess. util unique type name, like that. So that's the structure, and of course we have a colon here. Then the prefix will be, yeah, we use 2 spaces per tab. We just hard code this here. I don't think that it's needed to use the other one, which is 4. So we adjust the prefix, and it will always be, yeah, do I want to make it a number like spaces per tab, because it's always white space and there's always spaces. I think I want to make it a number here. Yeah, let's do that, because the problem is, no, actually there is no problem. If I go in there, there's just append to this. If I go in there, it will be used, and if the recursion ends, we will naturally be at the previous state of the prefix. So here we have a space times 2. Let's do it like that. We don't have to go crazy and have a single space that we multiply by 2. I mean, that would be too awkward. So that's the prefix here. Now we are one level in, which will look like this, and now we can iterate the fields. For f in schema fields, this is supposed to exist. I don't even check for it. And for each field. And now we have the field name, and then we traverse or we do not traverse. Oh yeah, and not to forget, new line. Like this. O plus equals prefix, then the field name, then colon. And then it's either the type name, if we have it, or we have a new line right away. Yeah, let's see. So that's, I think, the start. Prefix, and then the, oh, it's fields, items. Either items. So it's fn and f. And then the field name is, in any case, this. Awesome. So if this is a dict, oops, like that, then we traverse. Otherwise, we use the data type name of the field. O plus equals, I think I want to have a space here, and then the data type and a new line. Yeah, so what's the field name again? It's container type. Ugh. This undo bug was supposed to be fixed. Maybe it is. Probably not. So it's the container type. No, wait. It's the actual type. It's f dot actual property dot type, because that boils down to the actual type that we want. Ooh, and we have to be sure that we handle container types properly. So maybe I just, yeah, maybe there's some more special casing needed. So if the container type is a, how do I want to say this? How do I want to put this? How's my example looking? So here, is this the latest version? No, so that's the latest version. So if it's a string, yeah. So that, yeah, the type. So the type starts out at, the type T starts out at the actual property type. If the field's container type is an array, it's C type array, then we shall wrap it into array thingies. Then T is this and this actual type. Yep, I think that's the case. And T, if it's the container type is a map, C type map, like that, then T shall be a, how do we specify it? Maybe like that. It's a string that maps to a string that maps to, I don't know what the syntax should be. Could do it like that. Yeah, I think that would still be valid YAML, and considering that, we should, I guess, stick to the YAML part here. And then is this type T. So it's a mapping of a string to, yeah, and we only support this string to something maps anyway, and that's what we get here. And the cool thing is that now we have the right type and we are good. So that's this part. Otherwise we traverse. So is this correct? Yes, we put the type name and get into a new line. Otherwise we traverse, which means we have a new line right away, and then we append the result of CLI to schema YAML, and then we give it the sub schema that we have there, which is no wait something might be wrong here. Set nested schema. So then the field, the field is actually a dict object, right? Because that's what the nested schemas are for us. Okay, so then let's invert this. I'm not really trusting this. Let's invert this and say, okay, but it's not a schema entry, huh? If it's not a schema entry, then it's some sort of schema. And then we can just recurse into this and say our field is a schema, and the prefix is our prefix plus 1 plus 1 level, right? Because let's have a look at this. Because this is what we print, and then the next, but the prefix level, the level up happens automatically. Stop. This prints itself anyway. Using the, So this is not the field name anymore. It should just ignore its own name in that case. So we go recursive. Yeah, I think that's the point here. So we can only do this if we are not in recursion. So if we are the first one, then we have an actual name. Otherwise, we use the field name. Good. If we don't have a prefix, we do this. Otherwise, we just start with an empty string. I think that's it. I just closed my Sublime Text accidentally. Probably not a bad thing to close it after like 2 days or 4 days. I don't know. I never close this thing usually unless I make a mistake. Okay, so let's call this as well and stop printing. Oh wait, that's the request CLI schema that we generate here. For now I keep it around because we use it 2 times, I think, at least. So now we just say CLI schema to YAML, and of course we substitute that in here like this. Should be fine. CLI schema to YAML, there we go. So now it's actually being called. Let's see how that looks like. So the idea is that we don't write anything. The prefix increment will happen automatically, which means that we don't have to do this. Let's see. Might be wrong there. Let's see if it even works. It did, to my surprise. Okay, so video status, license string, boolean string. Oh, look at that. I think these names, I wanna dash them. I wanna dash the shit out of them so that they correspond to the dashiness that we will have in these values here when doing R. So that is easy enough because that's just the mangle subcommand function here that will create the dashiness. So for the first type, that's okay. And then when we do the F function, the field name, we do mangle subcommand, and there we go. Cool, let's do that again. Now this is a one-to-one correspondence to what you will use on the command line. And it tells you what it is. It's easy to understand what the hierarchy is. And this is really why you do this, right? That's that's the reason. Kind of crazy. Content rating. Whoa. Rating. Oh yeah, and one more thing. The type conversion that we should do, which is done here to Rust type, because there's a special case. If we have a string and count is in the name, then we want to use an I64 for a type. And how do I do this best without duplicating anything? You know what? I think this wants to be a function here. That is called process property, for instance. And I guess it's okay to put it in here. Yeah, do process property or something, or duplicate property, def dup property, and we use the current one because I have access to these fields anyway. So I just keep it really easy on me. So then it's this. The PC is going to be returned, and then if PC the actual type, huh? The actual type I do not know. Cool. So the actual property shall be given, and then if the actual property type is string and count in PN, then the actual property type should be I64. Oh, and careful about that. We are referring to Rust types now, I think, even though here we want to use int64, right? That's the kind of intrinsic type that we currently use. So we basically rewrite this. And oh, the problem is we change it on a type that we don't have. You know what? I think I'm just using PC here and hope that we are not actually looking at some nested thing here that would force us to do it that way. Yeah, let's do it like that for now. We can easily change this. So I don't need that after all. PC type. The thing is, I don't necessarily have a type. So I only... yeah, so let's check for this. If type in PC and that. So now we can use dup property here safely. And it will automatically change. Oh yeah, I will use it everywhere, even though I think it will only be really useful here. And then we might have to fix things up a bit. Yeah, so let's try that. And let's see if we actually run into this. Maybe we don't right now. So that's cool. We run into this. That's awesome. Maybe not for that one. But we can find out by searching for count. Cool. Look at that. It's still... Did I reload this? Ah, see, now it's N64. And that's the guys. That's so weird, you know, view count. Why is it a string? It makes no sense, huh? But now actually we fix the Google API definition here, which is good. And I64 is just supposed to be the biggest possible pod, so that we will, you know, handle cases like how's this called, Gangnam style with 1 billion views, YouTube Gangnam. Let's see how many views it has by now. Is this the one? 2.3 billion. Whoa. This guy, he must have earned like, I don't know, millions just with that. And it's so funny, 10 million likes and dislikes, 1.2 million, amazing. So crazy. I'm just trying to figure out if it has something that makes it so cool, and I think yes. Okay, sorry. I got distracted there for a moment. Good. Happy. That looks awesome. Maybe a bit huge, but what can I do? That's kind of, we have to document this, and now this is happening. But the point is, that is what I want it to be, and this will end or conclude this session anyway. So that went on for 36 minutes, because the next session will be about doing this and making it automatic. Oh yeah, and let's have a look at my mappings. Do I have mappings here? Actually, I don't. That's interesting. No mapping. Sad. Why is that? Do I have a mapping somewhere? Insert again. No, not here anyway. Oh yeah, let's see if I run into this. So do I have... Oh wait, actually I want to check it here. Just checking real quick somewhere. I am not running into this. I'm also not running into this. This also means that I never... But I set these, right? C-type map, I do. C-type array, I do. But I'm just not running into this. I guess this code never ran, so that's dangerous. Could be broken. Let's try it. Let's do something that I usually try not to do. So make again all CLI. Okay, see. Oh shit. So that's something else. Okay, I will have to fix this. Shows me that there is lots of stuff broken, actually, but I think I should rather now than later fix this, because that's kind of a fundamental thing here. That's our post processor that wanted to has some Unicode issues, and yeah, I can fix this easy. So thanks for watching and have a good day.